Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and boy, there's been some bloodshed in the streets, but these are my buying opportunities. That's what I do when I see these things. Ray Fuentes from Link2 reminds us a little bit here in this video. Watch just this short clip and then we'll get going.
Timing the market, but rather time in the market. Remember, this is cyclical and everything shall pass. Downturns have proven to make for wonderful buying opportunities for us contrarian investors. Don't forget, the downward pressure elevates companies with solid fundamentals straight to the top. Companies that are well positioned to weather the storm. Companies like Ripple Labs and our beloved Link2. Available on our Link2 platform is the unicorn Ripple Labs. Ripple's CEO Brad Garlinghouse confirmed in a recent interview that Ripple has $1 billion of cash available on its balance sheet. That's a whole lot of cash. And on top of Ripple's rich financials, Ripple is hiring for hundreds of open positions all over the world.
And has a no a-hole policy. But anyway, what he just said there is exact. Look, at age 48, now I know. It took me a long time to figure all this out. And I've been through about 5 or 6 of these crypto market crashes, but it took me a long time to figure this out. I got killed in the financial crisis in 2008, 2009, and it goes against everything inside of you to try to foresee things coming, like a crash or things getting bad when things are really good. And so, like I've said a lot of times, is what I've learned is that you need, I try to always have a lot of cash on hand. And these companies that survive these type of things are the ones that anticipate it, like Brad Garlinghouse said the other day. And so, yeah, Ray Fuentes, link to the link will be in the top of the description. He said they've got Ripple equity on the platform. What happens is when these things come, all of the frauds, all of the people that were full of crap, those are the companies that go out. All the people that didn't prepare. It goes all the way back to the story of the 3 little pigs. The pigs that built their house out of straw, those burned to the ground. The ones that have a solid foundation, that is, I don't care if it's companies or whether it's digital assets. If it's a digital asset that has real utility and it's not just some token that was created to scam a bunch of people, but just something that has real utility. That's why the whole theme of this channel has always been XRP and XLM, because of all the digital assets, I would put about maybe 5 to 7 that have that real utility that's going to come out of all this. And remember, and I put it in a tweet, remember, every single crypto boom and bust that we've seen has been all on speculation. None of it has been the real market that's coming. And that's the utility market. Don't forget that. So when I see the worst one of these I've been through, by the way, that number right there was at 100 billion. Now, you think this is a pullback? I'm laughing at I was talking to somebody on the phone yesterday. I've been completely relaxed in this because I've seen this movie many times. And here's the other part that they don't want you to know. I tweeted this out. I will keep buying XRP and XLM until the real crypto market is revealed. See, that's the dirty little secret here, folks. The real market has not been revealed, but it will be. And XRP and XLM and about a handful of others. And I'm also, the other thing you can see very clearly if you step back right now is who all the real players are. If you as you watch all of this unfold, watch who's strong and watch who's falling apart. You don't see Cardano falling apart. You don't see Algorand falling apart. XRP and XLM, Brad Garling, watch who displays strength. That's what I'm watching, and I'm accumulating as I do. Now, I want to remind everybody, I love to remind everybody of this. This is Chris Giancarlo, who I do consider to be one of the good guys in this space. He was the head of the CFTC in the 2017-2018 crash. This article is all about how he was instructed by the president, Trump at the time, to rein in the crypto market, okay? And if you think that what you're watching right now, you know what? One of the first things I was reminded of. Now, who wants to rein in crypto more than anybody you know? That would be Gary Gensler. Gary Gensler and the Janet Yellen. In fact, I think I put her. No, not right there. But anyway, they want to rein it in. It is in their interest to have crypto painted as bad, so that you can run into them, to their and Wall Street's arms with this new asset class. You know what it reminded me of when I've seen what I've been watching the last few weeks? It reminds me of that slot on Gary Gensler's calendar. You remember when I was asking, why is he on the phone with George Soros? The currency manipulator, the probably the most famous currency manipulator in the world, George Soros. You know, there's only one thing I can think of anybody would want to get advice from George Soros on, and that would be, hey, how do you do what you do? You know, I mean, I'm not saying Gary Gensler's behind this. I'm just saying people that they're friends with could be. That's all I'm saying. Now, this is Patrick Bet-David, and he's on the phone. He's on a show on Fox with Peter Schiff. Okay, and I'm telling you, I've said this from day one. Peter Schiff has it wrong. He's not wrong about gold. He's right about gold. But it's anybody who's telling you crypto or gold is wrong. Crypto and gold, but the right crypto, not Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a distraction. I've said it from day one. Ethereum's a distraction. But proof of work Ethereum is a distraction. And Peter Schiff won't, by the way, never will speak of XRP or XLM, but you know he's got to know by now. Listen to this.
Well, listen, this has got to be Peter Fisher's favorite season, because his phrase moving forward for the next 6 to 12 months is going to be, I told you so. Peter, you ought to buy a shirt that says, I told you so, and enjoy it for a year, maybe 18, 24 months. But I'll tell you a couple things here. The part we got to be thinking about is Peter may be right. Here's the thing. When disruption and change happens, we don't know who's right. There's a side where it's the way it's always been done that's afraid of change. That's more of Peter's camp, which is gold, equities. This is what we got to be doing. They have no clue what they're doing. It's a scam. It's this. They're just trying to pump and dump, and you don't know what we're doing. Okay, fine. He may be right, but he may also be wrong. And then there's the other side, which the younger generation is saying, Peter, we just don't like the way you've been doing things. We don't. We just don't trust the Fed. We would trust gold if our money was backed by gold, but it's not. And your dream of the government and our currency being backed by gold, it's going to take a lot of convincing and a lot of powerful people to say yes for that to happen. So because of that, Peter, we think you're a little bit naive and you're oblivious to what's taking place. We want to take it in a different direction because we no longer trust the centralized monetary system. We want it to be decentralized. But
Well, I don't agree with that. Look, it's not going to be decentralized. Let me rephrase it. It's going to be controlled decentralization. The way I've always envisioned this is, okay, how do you have all these countries of the world trust each other in this new monetary system? The way I've envisioned it is, here's what you do, is whoever creates this thing, first, you get all these countries to send their hackers and try to take it down for, say, 10 years, about the time that Ripples have been in existence. And then you do what I would call controlled decentralization, which is you say, hey, Russia, you take 5 nodes on your land, take 2 or 3 and put them on your satellites, take 2 or 3 and put them underground in Russia, and then China, you do the same thing and you allot nodes based on that. And then once you do that, then you do a lot of testing and say, now try to hack this financial system, try to hack this protocol. And you spend many years, maybe about 10, about what the time that Ripple's been around. That's the way I've always envisioned it. You're going to have, that's what I believe you're going to have. You're never going to have pure decentralization. I believe you're going to have more like a controlled decentralization. But you might start it that way and then say, okay, now you guys can have as many nodes as you want now that you've tested it and all that, and grow more and more and more. And then Russia could have 100,000, U.S. and become even more decentralized. That's always the way I've thought of this. Now, so never let a crisis go to waste, right? Janet Yellen is not. U.S. Treasury Secretary Yellen, Congress must take action on digital asset regulation right in the middle of this crash. And look, folks, to me, if there's a final shoe to drop, it's the one you're looking at now. Tether has been under DDoS attack after receiving a ransom request. Uh-oh. Now, there were I was at my son's travel ball game yesterday. It was so freaking hot. It was one of those baseball parks where there's no shade anywhere, and it's in a bowl where you're burning your butt off. So what I did is I went and they had batting cages in the outfield. They had a row of pine trees. I'm in Georgia. They had a row of pine trees in the outfield that kind of went around the outfield. And then I didn't have a chair, so I went and I found a folding chair in one of the batting cages. I technically stole the folding chair and walked it over there behind the fence underneath the pine trees. And while everybody else burned their behinds off, I was nice and cool. The reason I tell you that story is because while I was under those pine trees, I was going through these tweets and watching what John Deaton was saying. Very proud of crypto law, connect to Congress. Now, this is a guy who connected to Congress through John Deaton's law firm website, which, by the way, is what is it? Cryptolaw.us, I believe it is. No, here it is right here. Crypto-law.us. So you can go there and click on Connect to Congress, and you can contact your congressman. This person did, and received a letter back from Kevin McCarthy. Look at this. Thank you for sharing your concerns about the conflicts of interest of senior staff at the SEC. As you mentioned, the report surfaced that William Hinman, who served as Director of Division of Corporate Finance at the SEC from 2017 to 2020, had a direct financial interest with his former law firm. Folks, this is a congressman. This is Kevin McCarthy. Further, Freedom of Information Act requests appear to raise additional questions. Given the SEC's Office of Inspector General is aware of this request, along with broader litigation between SEC and Ripple, be assured I will continue to monitor this issue with respect to compliance with conflict of interest rules. So in other words, now John Deaton and the XRP Army community, whatever you want to call it, has got Congress watching. They know SEC. They know what the SEC's been up to now. So I tweeted this out to John yesterday. Hey John, do you or Empower have any updates regarding members of Congress who have or have not responded to the Empower referral on potential SEC ethics violations? And John does a tweet on it. Congressional update. On June 7th, I forwarded a letter to every single senator and congressional representative that sits on these committees. Okay? And he's basically asking, let me see what he asked him here. It's like the last line, as I recall. Let me see if I can find the letter. It's this first one right here. Consequently, I'm certain that given the oversight role of your committee, you would agree that it's important that the OIG fulfill its obligations to the public. I respectfully request that you write to the OIG to inquire as to the status of Empower Oversight's May 9th referral and have enclosed a sample letter for your consideration. So John Deaton is asking them to write the SEC and find out what's the status on an investigation into Bill Hinman and the conflicts of interest and the ethics violations. These are all the Congress people that John sent this to. Now I tweeted out today, we want these Congress people's Twitter handles so that we can respectfully remind them of what John Deaton's doing here. That way we can make sure that they know, that we know, that they've gotten letters from John and just follow up. Have you sent the SEC a letter? What are you doing? Now, I'm going to go to this now. So in conjunction with this, check this out. Warren Davidson. When the dollar collapses, we're preparing to implement a police state that uses money as a means of control and coercion, the Fed. That's not an actual quote, but that's what he's saying he thinks the Fed would try to do. Nope, sound money serves a stable store of value and efficient means, I don't know about stable if you're referring to Bitcoin, efficient means of exchange, not a creepy surveillance system to control the population. But this is what he says that's really interesting. You know, it's certainly possible that the stalling tactics to prevent regulatory clarity for digital assets in America are related to the Fed's CBDC project. If there really are people engineering a reset of the monetary system, off-ramps with self-custody are problematic. Folks, Wall Street's going to come in and raise their hand and say, see, we've been safe for you for over 100 years, and now you can put your digital assets with us. That's what this has all been about, folks. Now, John Deaton retweeted Warren Davidson's tweet, and he says, this is significant, okay? This goes directly in the All the World's a Stage file. Now, this guy had Hester Pierce on and asks her about the XRP army. Check it out, it's funny.
You recently tweeted something out about the digital assets custody, and I think every response following was from the XRP army. I mean, do you read all these tweets from those people that are very committed to this digital asset?
Well, look, I welcome feedback from anyone, and so I'm always happy to hear. There are some issues I can't speak to, and one of those, which I know has been frustrating to some of those people who have tweeted at me, I can't speak to Ripple and the XRP litigation because that's ongoing litigation right now, and so I just can't speak about it. But more generally,
all right, I just thought it was interesting that he mentioned that, but she's, you know where Hester Pierce is coming from at this point. Now, this is classic. It's not good for this guy. A small holder of Ethereum that try to sell get stuck due to high gas fees. My money is stuck in the Coinbase wallet because I have to deposit $600 of Ethereum, I guess, to send the transaction. No CBDC will run on Ethereum. Delusional. And I said the SEC bet on the wrong horse in their secret meetings leading up to the Bill Hinman Ethereum free pass speech. And something else interesting here is Wheezy reminds this guy, says, Joe Lubin says Ethereum technology is in the lead for CBDCs because it's a rock solid technology. Oh no, because y'all got a free pass. Exactly. Okay, and finally you've got to see, I'm going to show you just the beginning of this, because CNBC, almost as if they're in a cadence with the crypto market falling, that in my opinion was engineered probably by the same people that want to regulate all of this. Watch what CNBC is now carrying that fear baton perfectly.
Fraudsters are targeting crypto accounts using technology designed to separate you from your money. In a CNBC investigation, Eamon Javers unveils the crypto nightmare that all starts with a phone call.
Dr. Anders Apgar and his wife were out to dinner in January with their children, and his phone just wouldn't stop buzzing. The voice message was alarming.
Hello. Welcome to Coinbase Security Prevention Line. We have detected unauthorized activity.
That caught his attention since he and his wife, who are both obstetricians, had more than $100,000 in Bitcoin invested through Coinbase, the country's largest crypto platform. Apgar had a bad feeling as soon as he answered.
Something in the back of your head said didn't quite feel right. Correct. And it didn't
it was
feel
just
perfect.
Convincing enough. For an instant, he was convinced it was real.
We have detected unauthorized activity due failed login attempt in your account. This was requested from an Canada IP address. If this not you, please press 1.
That says to secure your account, hit 1.
Yeah.
So I hit 1.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where he made the mistake, folks. Listen, any kind of solicited thing like this, do not ever click on anything. Don't click on any links that are emailed to you. What you do the second anything like this happens is you go independently of what you've received. You go maybe even to a different computer, and you go and you log into your Coinbase account using your information. You don't click on any of these links. You don't click on any text. You don't do any of that stuff, okay? But what you do is put your stuff on a Ledger Nano S and never to anyone reveal your 24 words. I'll put the link to the Ledger Nano S in the top of this description. Look, in these times, folks, the way I see it is we don't trust hackers. We don't trust the bad guys that are trying to steal your stuff off of the platforms. We don't trust the platforms who are locking people's money up and not letting them get to it right now. And thirdly, we don't trust these regulators and what they're capable of in terms of coming in and who knows what they could do, shut down Coinbase or whatever and lock up your stuff. We don't know what these regulators are capable of, and I just spilled coffee on my computer, so that's where we'll end this video. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that the digital asset investor spilled coffee on his computer, so the video had to end. Thanks for